morning to all. Today I'm going to continue our topic about concept strategy. So, let's start.
Experience. In experience, you study the lesson below which applies the concept attainment strategy. The goal of the lesson is for the student to define a prism. In defining prism is a solid geometric figure whose two end faces are similar, equal, and parallel rectilinear figures and whose sides are parallelograms. The picture below are examples of prism. Those are watermelon, cakes, tent, pie, chocolates, house, and cheese. So I have here the example. The topic is square. Grade level, grade 1, target learning competency. By the end of the lesson, the learners will be able to define a square, draw examples, and identify whether a given figure is a square or not. So, examples of straight lines and curvy lines. As you can see in the picture, the example of the straight lines, horizontal lines, vertical lines, and parallel lines. And the next is the example of the curved lines. Those lines that are waving. Third, plane figure. Plane figure is a geometrical configuration, all of whose points lie in a plane. Examples are circles, triangles, rectangles, rhombus, square, trapezoids, etc. So, as you can see in the picture below, those are the examples of plane figures. Fourth, solid figure. Solid figure are three-dimensional objects. They have length, width, and height. Examples are rectangular prism, cube, sphere, cone, cylinder, pyramid. So, you can see in the picture below, those are examples of solid figures. So, I have here the examples of plane figure and solid figures. The example of cube is the ice. The example of the sphere is the basketball. The example of the cone is the ice cream. The example of circle is the clock because the clock shape circle. And the example of cylinder is the soap can. The example of rectangular prism, juice box. Example of square is a picture frame. Example of rectangle is paper. Give the following examples and non-examples by batch. So, batch 1, made of straight line, no curvy lines. So, the examples is the square. So, square is no curvy lines. While the non-examples, you see the square there is a curvy lines. Batch 2 has 4 sides. So, the example is the diamond. Diamond has 4 sides. While the non-example of batch 2, pentagon, 5 sides, hexagon, 6 sides, heptagon, 7 sides. Batch 3, the sides have equal length. So the example is the square. The square has equal sides. While the non-example of batch 3 is rectangle. Batch 4, all the angles are right. So the examples of the batch 4 is the square because the square has the right angle. While the non-examples of the batch 4 is the rhombus. You see the rhombus, the angle of the rhombus is the acute and the obtuse angle. And the batch 5, it is a plane figure. The examples of the batch 5 is the diamond. So you see the diamond plane figure. And the non-example is the box. Box is the solid figure.